High fire energy. Who should we start with? Let's start with Leo, the heart, right? This is for Venus. So Leo, and Sagittarius, and Aries. Okay. So it's about salvation. I guess in case you don't see the other ones, let's talk a little bit before we begin about Venus. So I guess I was inspired because Venus is going in retrograde. And we're looking at it kind of from the elements, okay? And so Venus is in Gemini, so there's a lot of talking, probably about the same things, maybe even in different ways. And it's important to see both sides of the situation and to come up with some sort of compromise as best as possible in the most peaceful way. Okay? Okay, fire. Let's do 145, Leo. Let's get Sagittarius out of the way. And Aries. Leo. What's going on with Leo this retrograde? Wow. Holy smokes. Alright. Oh, you're overcoming your own fear, Leo. You're such a creative spirit, Leo. You know what I mean? I want you to think about your creative spirit. The creation that has come from chaos. Because this is a retrograde, we're looking back at maybe our old relationships with people, where our heart and our energy and our time and all that was put into something, right? But maybe no longer in a physical sense. How has that creatively changed you? How has that made you stronger? How is that, how do you trust that, like, that you live in the house of God? Right? But it's more of it's kind of more of the heart of God, because when I saw house of God, I thought of like a church. And then it wasn't like a negative, it wasn't an aversion to it, but there was something like, there's a need for fluidity, so that the energy doesn't become stagnant. Okay? And I sense that there could be something, or even someone in your life that's very kind of to you, because you're fire. This is more like an earth energy, or like a real stubborn, grounded energy. It's like, I'm not moving, right? Like, that feels stagnant to you. And so you're considering, I guess, how to use these energies better, right? Like, how I see two combined things that maybe most people wouldn't think go together, but you can find that way to connect it because you have this creative spirit, right? It's very, like some people may even see it kind of genius-like, is it ladylike? Was that the opposite of in that Juno reading? Anyway, let me see, Leo. I guess you're also realizing that some things are just the way that they are. And there are definitely a lot of stable things in your life, and I want you to recognize that. Like for instance, any work that you've been putting into your life and yourself, especially after any of the chaotic things that have happened over your lifetime, and how you again creatively use that to create a new part of yourself or a new understanding. You know what I mean? Particularly the way you think about things, especially God and nature. Like God, like finding, because maybe that's why it was a little bit of an aversion to this church. It's like I was outside of it, but I was actually above it, like a bird. But the point is that God is everywhere. God is everywhere. You can't house God, I guess. If you are involved with a very stubborn person, that isn't moving about something, that doesn't understand you and because you're a constant creation and it's sort of fast, you know, you need that kind of energy. But if you're with a stubborn person and something hasn't been going somewhere, right? You've been blocked, right, for some time, even though you kept pushing. That's probably, I think you'll be done thinking about it because you already know that it's over. And in addition, this is also an emphasis of you overcoming your fear. That something will be taken from you, or something like that. Because nothing can take your spirit. Nothing can take your creative soul or your heart. No one takes it. It's all inside of you. And each person has to really know that in themselves and not have that. Not that it's never shaken a little, but there needs to be a really strong foundation in whoever is in your life now, particularly when it comes to spirit or God. It's important. It's really important to you. I heard, and it has to be true. Wow. Huh. Good one, Leo. Let's see what we got here. Let's do 920. Sagittarius. Let's see what you got, Sagittarius. Gentle soul transformation. Ooh, but it is the Princess of Cups and the Devil card. I want to read Elaine to you. I don't know who this is. Just a second. Okay, this is the Princess of Cups. It says, in her temple, the red-cloaked lily maid, lily like a flower, the moon virgin, reveals the secret identity of the grail and the cauldron of regeneration. Elaine's cauldron, molded on the famous Gudastrump cauldron, depicts the mystery of sacrifice and apotheosis. Her cup is precisely positioned against her body to suggest a womb symbol. She signifies mystical insight, hidden knowledge, revelation, a person having the gift of wisdom, or one needing to acquire it. And then I keep looking, when it says apotheosis, it says resurrection to a godlike condition. And Leo just talked about God very strongly. So you're trying to purify something, right? I heard you're trying to get it right. Because this devil is here, and this little Princess of Cups, you have to do it right. You can't do something too fast, right? Soul transformation needs to be gentle, because it can only happen with time, with certain seasons that pass. Sometimes seasons are just a winter. Sometimes seasons is a year. Sometimes seasons, I would suppose, is a whole lifetime. And I see, particularly if anyone has Saturn retrograde, it is a more difficult. There's more sacrifice that is had in the life, which makes it harder for the individual to really comprehend why everything happened, because it just feels like it feels confusing to why. It's like hard to understand. Who had that? Gemini had hard things with soft edges. What you're dealing with is something that's it's soft on the outside, but it's dense on the inside. It'd be like, a block of concrete with like velvet on top. I would definitely, the Gemini reading will be of service. I also see Pisces and Capricorn could be of service. Let's see here. Sagittarius, what's going on with this Venus retrograde? Well, something is changing very much. And it's really beautiful. I guess because the South Node is going in your sign, maybe that's where you really become the student, and you're very, very, very happy about it. Right? Hi, baby. You want to get up here? Come here. Come on. Jump. Go. And I guess those, and I talked about this before, but those who have been doing their homework, I guess will be the ones that will be excited about learning these new things. Those who have not done their homework is kind of being, well, I did hear thrown in a pit. Because I guess it really depends whether people understand what the... Depending on what people believe that they can build. And however they determine that as a level of importance, maybe this has a little bit to do with the ego, with the devil here. It's like, oh, I see. So you're getting a test. Again, depending on where your level is of your own, the homework you've been doing, the ascension you've been doing, whatever, the mountain climbing you've been doing, right? Preparation. You're going to have to, there's something that needs to be forgiven. In such a way that you are still alliances, right? There's still an alliance there. It's not your enemy. It's an alliance. But I heard not a reliance. And then as you walk along, there's going to be things that come in your path that are kind of an illusion. And you need to make sure what's real and what's not. And again, it's going to be a test of your own level of growth, right? To what your grade is, I guess. I do see those that have been gently transforming yourself, you know, your life little by little, because that's how we actually do it. Doesn't happen like that. Saturn knows that. Well, then I actually see that you're gaining a new belief system and what you can build. And I actually see Saturn is very connected to this Sagittarius. Although Pisces is chilling out for you, which is helpful. Because that energy comes easy to you, right? So I'm glad you're feeling more stable. And I do see, please continue to do your shadow work gently. Okay? There's no need to rush that. It is immensely hard, especially if we're talking about anything to do with the root chakra, where you came from, childhood, all that jazz. Right? Be gentle on yourself. Okay? And please remember to accept the gentleness of others. Being gentle also doesn't mean you're weak, Sagittarius. That's also something that you're transforming in your soul. So the cards say. Wowza. That was deep. I like the South Node there. Didn't think I was going to say that. That's interesting. Let's do 1930. Aries. Aries, what's going on? Let's see. Wow. Okay. Sagittarius has a message for you. Queen of Pentacles and the Prince of Pentacles. Two. So the Queen and the Knight. Aries. there is a, well, I'll say plain, like I heard it. There is a man who is emotionally sensitive. He is sensitive to your emotional needs. I also see that there is an emotional man in your life that holds great power. This is like a man of few words. He knows what the ether is. He knows how to protect himself, but he created everything also. May even look like this person in a way. I want to read Urda for you. Hold on. This deck's a little weird. I don't suggest it because when I first... I don't know. Let's just stick to the point. If it's meant to come to you, it'll come to you. What are we looking for? Queen of Pentacles. Excuse me. Mother Earth is Erda, E-R-D-A. It says, Mother Earth as Paleolithic goddess figure, which is this, I know you've seen her, like Venus of Wildendorf, is that what it's called? Stands above a sacred cave in moonlight. The world's earliest artworks show the goddess in this guise. Some of her earliest European names were Eartha, Erda, Edda, Hretha, Hertha, Eorth, Earth, Erd, Word, Wired, and Weird. Oh, fascinating. When we say weird, can you see that right? Shit, can I do it right there? Weird. So every time we say that, we're saying Mother Earth. Fascinating. And isn't it funny that they made that word into, oh, it's weird, right? It's trickery. Like her exaggerated maternal characteristics, her card represents overwhelmingly earthly or material blessings. And I do see this as a reward if you understand I heard if you're reading in between the lines. It can also represent fecundity. I don't know what that means. Abundance, generosity, support, comfort, creative inspiration, nurturing, warmth. Now, I will say, because this is Venus in retrograde, I'm still feeling this for you, but I don't feel it coming, like maybe there's going to be test of that, like, oh, I don't know, like somebody learns how to nurture themselves, somebody learns how to create their own abundance, right? Create their own emotional understanding. Even whoever this is in your life, it's still there, right? I'm sure there are multiple people. I mean, the point is that multiple kinds of energy that give this off, but I guess I heard you'll have to try a little harder in certain areas to make two things one. Let's see what silence has to say. Some people don't know God. Right? Impasse. That came with Aquarius, this card too. Sometimes, where are those times where you felt like you couldn't go any further and life was but a dream? And what did you learn from those exaggerations? What did you learn about love? What did you learn about love? Oh, I hope I can find it again. Nope. I've been talking about this a lot, but like the love of a child, there is no impasse there. I guess you're really learning that you're safe and loved and protected, and that if anyone, I suppose, spent enough time in silence, they would know God. And I guess in a way the human's a little bit confused about what strength is at this time. What power is, what ether is, what silence is. You know, I was thinking about it recently. Well, I'll keep that one for myself, but if people spent enough time in silence, they would come to know God. And I guess for some, maybe that's why it's important not to idolize, because we're not supposed to find love in things or like rely on that, you know? And I guess that's why the relationship with, hey, leave it be, please. The relationship with stillness is so important. But some people aren't wired that way, and some people don't even realize they want to be rewired. And even when they become rewired, say by the stars or whatever the situation is, they're still fighting it. And I guess that's okay. Some people, it's who said it? Libra. It's your opposite. You should definitely watch it. It's improbable to think that everybody is on the same path, like the same path in the same place. There's no wood grain that is the same. No two trees are the same. Who else had that? The birds. right? Two birds, crow and the hawk. When we finally have a good relationship with ourselves and with this life, then the relationships with others are not an issue. That illusion that romance is what creates life is I mean, look at who, why? They're sitting in the same room, their backs to one another. Why? They're the same thing, but what's great is that those have gotten up out of that space where and took your own steps is what actually will bring an opportunity to close some sort of great cycle. Because there's nothing more I can say. Wow. We're never failing, okay? I don't know who I just told, but, you know, when I play pool by myself, you know, it might seem weird to some people, but, it's just practice. There's no failing. Right? Those two people crying with their backs to one another, breaking up. It's like, well, wait a second, we're here. Like, what's the deal? We're all just learning. Just playing, shooting some pool with myself. But some people are uncomfortable in themselves, I guess. Do you ever take yourself out on dates? It's fun. It's really fun. All right, that's that. Very interesting reading. Thank you for being here. Well, I guess that's that. Did I just say that? Talk to you later. Peace.